Do you have an aggressive dog? Or maybe you have a dog that shows aggressive behavior in certain situations. So I want to make that distinction because in most cases, I'm going to say there's no such thing as a bad dog. But, in certain circumstances and situations, your dog may exhibit, wow, that's scary, or embarrassing, or worrisome and frustrating behavior of showing aggressive behavior, like barking and lunging, whether you're in public on a walk or in your home when your guests come by. So, in today's Training to Tuesday, I wanted to talk about a program that I'm going to start. And let me first introduce myself. So, my name is Linda Kwan, and I am the owner and trainer at Wow Bow Wow. I specialize in working with pet parents with family dogs, companion dogs. And I work with the puppies that you bring home, the 2 to 4 month old puppies, or the adolescent dog. So they may be a little bit older, maybe like 4 to 5 months old, and they're starting to show some rambunctious behavior that you would like to, teach manners. And so from 4 to 5 months old to about maybe 2 or even 3 years old, you can have that rowdy dog. So some people come to me during those periods. And then, of course, there is the mature dog, whether you have a new unwanted behavior that you're starting to see, or you brought home a rescue or shelter dog that is a mature dog, and you would like to learn how to train your dog to live with you in a harmonious lifestyle. So, back to the aggressive behavior that dogs may exhibit that worries you, and you have the right to be worried because it could escalate to possible bites. And so, no one wants that. No one wants that for their dog because what can happen, if you have a bite history, you could be in big trouble with the city and your community. So, when I talk about aggressive behavior in dogs, when I talk to people about this, about their dog, what I like to ask is more specific questions like, in what kind of situations do they see their dog showing these kind of behaviors? Maybe they know what their dog's triggers are. Is it another dog? Is it like maybe a bike? Or is it maybe something like a loud noise outside of the home? Or maybe when they are in the car, maybe they bark at things that go by the car. So understanding the triggers and in the type of situations your dog may be exhibiting these aggressive behaviors is very important to like know, kind of take notes on. The time of day could be an issue too, and so on. So when I meet the pet parents with these kind of dogs, I know that they've become frustrated and they can't seem to change their dog's behavior. Like I said, when you're in the public, it can be kind of embarrassing when your dog acts like that, and you think that people are looking at you like, why don't they get their dog trained? And you know what? Sometimes it can lead to feeling angry at your dog for acting like that. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. All those feelings arise. And in some cases, you will even be a little scared of your dog because you're not sure what may be triggering it. And that could be a reality. You may not know what exactly is triggering your dog to act like that. So, as I mentioned earlier, I have a program that I'm starting up. I'm starting up with another trainer, and we have the same philosophy in regards to how we work with dogs with these kind of aggressive behaviors. We call them reactive behaviors, but I think most people address it as aggressive behaviors. So, what we do is work with you to to understand your dog, why they may be acting like that. And in many cases, the humans, as I mentioned earlier, I may be asking them about the type of situations or triggers that may be where they see these kind of exhibition of these behaviors. But, they may not be aware of the signals the dog is giving before they explode. So we work with you to show you and point out what the dog is telling us with their body, with their head movement, and things like that, right? Um, so learning to read their body language is very key. And then also, in some cases, we may have to help the humans learn how to manage the dog to be not in those kind of circumstances where their dog may be triggered, right? And for example, I had a call the other day, and she just moved into her her parents' home with her brother, who also lives there, and there's several dogs and cats. And it's been about 3 months since she's been there. And in the last week or so, there's been some escalation in some dog fighting between the dogs in the home. And so I talked to her about, separating the dogs for at least 72 hours to help them de-escalate. But, when I asked her, like, did you see any signs, this coming? And she couldn't point to anything, but when I work with her, we'd probably be working on teaching her about the dog's maybe body language that her dog has been exhibiting and the other dog has been exhibiting before this escalation. I'm sure there were signs, and she and the rest of the family didn't know about it. And so, we help you get through that and managing. Like I mentioned, I told her to separate the dogs for at least 72 hours. And then, we will work on introducing the dogs again and learning what they can handle and when they need downtime away from each other. And in some cases, when you're out and about, you need to know how to get out of the situation. Because, real life situations, things pop up, triggers pop up out of the blue. And so you may have to get your dog out of Dodge. So we talk about those kind of situations and how to help you maneuver. And then last but not least, and most importantly, we will help you learn how to help your dog feel more comfortable so they don't have to exhibit those kind of behaviors. So what do you think? Is this something that you could find yourself getting a lot of benefit from, something you could like see yourself enrolled in, because you may have a dog that's overreactive and showing, almost scary behavior towards other dogs, people, maybe even your kids at home. So just to let you know, I'm starting a membership, and I'm doing this because I offer private sessions and I work with several clients with dogs that are overreactive. And, it's not an overnight, success. In many cases, it'll take several months. Now, if you have a dog like this that's overreactive to other dogs and people, well, you can't bring them to a group class, in-person group class. So what sources do you have? What resources can you tap? Now, many of you may have watched videos, on YouTube, Google things, and, there's some good resources out there too. I don't doubt that. But the problem is you don't have anyone to ask questions, get some feedback about your specific dog. And so for those people who may not be able to afford the private sessions that may be needed, a membership is a great way for you to work with your dog. And I'm going to tell you, working with your dog in your home first is probably the best place to start anyway with a reactive dog. So being able to work in the comfort of your home, within your budget, and having someone to ask questions. So this is going to be a pretty robust program. And it's going to be probably like weekly Q&A sessions. I'll have other trainers come on to address specific topics. And as we go along, I'll always have videos and handouts that you can access and watch on your own time. And even if you can't come to the live Q&A sessions, you can always submit your questions and we can answer them on the Q&A and you can watch the recording. And if you need more help than that, you can always add on a private session. And that's, something I'm going to also offer just in case you need more one-to-one, and rather than a whole program based on private sessions, but maybe one here and there. And so financially, this can be very doable for you and help you get to where you want to be with your dog. A happy dog, a happy human, not worrying about how your dog's going to be acting in public or in your house. So in the beginning, now, like I mentioned, I have protocol and plans for my private clients, but as a membership, I wanted some feedback from about 10 people. 10 people join this membership in the beginning to give us some feedback on how we are delivering the material that we normally have taught in private sessions. And, I address in my group classes about, reacting to certain triggers and disengaging. But, the dogs in my group classes are not so extremely overreactive. Anyway, so back to the membership program. So for that first 10 people, we are asking for a $24 monthly investment from you to join us, to work with us. And like I said, it's a robust program. The weekly Q&As, you get handouts and videos, we'll have special guests, special experts in this field to come on to our membership. And even if you can't come to the live sessions, you can submit questions, as well as maybe, if you want to, ask for a one-off private session. So what do you think? Is any of this exciting for you to think, oh my gosh, you know what? I have a dog that I could use help with. And this is so much more in my budgets. And you've been watching me. You've been watching my videos, seeing my posts. And I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of dogs and humans locally as well as online before in the pandemic period, right? So come join our membership. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'm happy to explain, how we're going to set this up. So DM me, and in the comments, I will also post the link to the actual membership page where you can sign up. But if you have any questions, DM me, and I'm happy to chat with you. All right, I hope you found this Training Tip Tuesday that, there are resources for you who can't go to a group class, for you who has that reactive, overstimulated dog, that, a private sessions may be too much for you to handle financially, but, you need help. And going on Google and YouTube is just not enough because you have a special situation. You have a special situation with your specific dog, and you need to talk to someone, a professional. All right, I will see you next Tuesday.